Joshua Jackson.
Yes, very well. Thank
Good.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I didn't realize this.
It is a mess in here.
It's a
It's
disaster. The whole thing-
disgusting. I'm sorry.
gross.
Just avert
We
your eyes
apologize.
in that whole area. I didn't realize you were from Vancouver.
I am.
I gotta tell you, I love it
You're from Vancouverites here?
there. Are you
Good old
really
Canadians.
from Vancouver over there? No, okay.
No, they're just excited.
They're excited.
They're just having a good
just happy
morning.
about it. They're just happy. When did you move to, where is it?
I've only kind of moved. I still consider Vancouver home. If
Yeah.
home is where the heart is, Vancouver will always be.
Yeah, it's special.
So I split my time now between here and LA mostly for work, but Vancouver will always be home.
Vancouver wasn't always Hollywood North, was it? I mean, when you were growing up, there wasn't as there's a ton of production there
It
now.
kind of started when I was,
Did it?
I guess not when I was a kid, but when I was like 10 or 11, X-Files came up there, and that changed the game up there
Oh,
completely.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't
Yeah.
realize they shot X-Files
Yeah,
there.
that was
Now, when,
so cool when I was a teenager.
oh, yeah, I bet. Did that get you? No, you were already
No, my
acting
mom.
by then.
Yeah, my mom worked in the industry,
Right.
so I'm one of those nepotistic stories.
Yeah.
And then there was just so much stuff. So like kind of my paper route when I was a kid
Right.
was working as an extra and a stand-in and things like that because it was a contained environment for my
Right.
mom to put me in for 12 hours a day.
Yeah, it's good. Well, it's good. Listen, we were talking about my favorite show is The Affair. When is it coming back, and why do you make us wait so long?
I don't know why actually we've waited the extra 6 months this year.
Yeah.
I guess anticipation makes the heart grow fonder, but
Yeah.
we are coming back middle of June.
Season
Right.
4?
For season 4, and I really truly don't know why we waited the extra 6 months.
Just
but I'm
to-
sure it's going to be
just to-
great.
Is
Cole's
because
going
of
to be
it.
happy. I mean, we'll.
No, it's the affair. Nobody's
yeah.
going to be happy.
No happiness.
Nobody's ever happy.
We don't do happy on the affair.
So there is no. You can't give us a little hint of what's going to happen, or do you not remember anymore because
Well,
you shot it so long ago?
I have vague memories. For the Cole storyline, so half of the story actually moves to LA, but not the Cole side of the story. So my story is still back in Montauk, and it's, instead of, in the previous seasons, we'd always jumped forward, whatever, 6, 8, 10, 12 months.
Yeah.
This one actually picks up pretty much right after the end
Wow.
of season 3. So we're right in the thick of that story of his current wife and his ex-wife and the tension between the two.
Cool.
All the stuff you love.
I can't wait. I can't
And by the way, we know that you're a globetrotter. You like to travel the world, and they were telling us
I
you were
do.
recently in India.
I was, well, back in October, but yeah. I had
How was that?
I'd never been before. It's an amazing place, a
You're
very
on a bike.
difficult place in many ways, yeah, and because I like to go all the way,
Right.
I did it on a Royal Enfield, which I don't know if you've had the chance to be in India, but
No.
driving on the roads in India is a significant change from any place else I've been on the planet,
Really?
and doing it on a motorcycle is quite an experience.
It's funny that the Board of Tourism, you know, the Incredible India,
Right.
they show that video is all on motors. Everything is on motorcycles.
Yeah, I mean, if you ride, you should do that once in your life, but just be prepared. It is a lot.
Right.
I fit better on a Vespa. Would that work on those?
Honestly, you see, like, not only do you see Vespas on the freeways there, you see Vespas with whole families on the Vespa.
Okay.
Right.
It is
I'll fit
amazing.
right in.
Yeah, and the
Right.
only thing that they stop for, and this is not a word of a joke, is cows. So there's no lanes or anything. It's all like by suggestion.
Right.
And so like the pecking
By
order goes like
suggestion.
big truck, small truck, van, car, Jeep, motorcycle, pedestrian, bike, and on top of everything is cow.
Cow. So cow is first.
Cow is first. The only thing that will stop traffic in India is a cow. After that, just don't die.
Wow.
I mean, really, that's the rule. Don't
No,
die.
Those
no
of you
traffic
traveling.
citations.
No
ever.
we were driving in from the airport at one point. There's this like 6 lanes of just total chaos on the roads.
Right.
And the English-speaking people in the back are all talking like, this is crazy. Like, there's 6 lanes here and you can't move. And the Indian driver, who didn't speak a ton of English, just heard the word and he goes, lanes.
We'll be right back with Joshua after this. Here with us. Joshua Jackson is with us.
Before we go into Children of a Lesser God, I just want to hold up this. I cannot believe
My high
that
school
it's
reunion.
your
Oh,
high school
my.
reunion photo that's on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. So, 20 years?
20 years.
Does-
20 years since it debuted.
How can
years,
it be
yeah.
20 years?
You tell me.
I mean, because I was I know you were in kindergarten, but I was a grown-up when the show debuted. I can't believe it.
Yeah, neither
Was
could I.
it weird doing the photo shoot?
It was, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course it was. We've seen each other individually, but we hadn't been all in the same room since the show went off the air. Right. So for the first time in whatever that would be, 15 years, I guess, we had the whole gang together, yeah, and like babies and marriage and divorce, the whole thing has happened.
Everything. So. Do you have a group text? Are you part of the Dawson's Creek group
I am now part of the Dawson's Creek group text,
Because I think that would be amazing. I want to be a part of that. If you can pull me in one day privately.
And then also, you know, it's a long time ago, and it was an amazing time in our life, but we did this interview afterwards, and suddenly we're in a place like this where people are like, remember that time? And you're like, oh, man, no, really, I don't at all. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be difficult about this, but like,
but actually,
not at all, yeah.
We have that about the show the day before.
Yeah,
remember what you guys did yesterday?
Yeah,
no.
We can't.
It's all gone.
This is your Broadway debut. Yeah. Congratulations.
2 days away. Thank you.
The revival of Children of the Lesser God.
Shouldn't you be home rehearsing?
If I don't know it by now, I'm not going to know it by Wednesday.
But you had to learn sign language.
Sign language,
for this.
yeah.
So
I had to learn sign to English. So there's 2 different languages that get used by deaf people. So I learned signed English, which is our language just translated into signs. But then there's ASL, which is the language of deaf people for deaf people.
How long did it take you to learn what you learned?
We did an out-of-town run of it last summer, so I gave myself 3 or 4 months to last summer. Last summer was just absolute panic every night, just hoping my hands would work, and then I've been doing all the work in between, so it's been about a year now.
Because I think it would be one thing to do the sign language, but another thing to recite lines.
Well, yes, and then that's a whole other thing. So that's called simcomming, and that's when you sign and speak at the same time. So that is actually the hardest part, because it turns out you're using 2 very different parts of your brain, and they used to actually teach deaf children to try and sign and speak at the same time, and found out over time that actually was impeding their language skills, the development of their language skills, both spoken and signed. So that is a real trick every night.
How about the emotional drain that is this production every single day?
I mean,
right?
I come off of that stage and I am exhausted. It's everything in the kitchen sink every single night. But in the way that actors are, I don't know, weird human beings, it both takes and gives, right? So I come off, I'm completely worn out, and there's another part of me that is so incredibly, exactly.
Yeah. You want to eat a steak at midnight.
I have been eating so much red meat. It's crazy. Like, if I don't eat within 20 minutes of coming off that stage, like, people are going to get murdered.
Now, tell me about, there's a newcomer,
Yeah.
So tell me who, I'm unfamiliar with this woman.
So Lauren Ridloff is my leading lady. And
she plays Sarah.
She plays Sarah, and she is just a phenomenal woman. And of the many things that are phenomenal about her, she is not a professional actress. She's also making her Broadway debut, but she's making her stage debut in this iconic character.
I mean, that's a big job.
It's a big job. And if you come and see the show, like, she's out there and exposed in every single way, and she's just a miracle.
How did she get cast for this?
So she was teaching the director sign language, and we did a reading of it November before last, and Kenny, the director, had put together a group of people, and he couldn't find his leading lady yet, so he said, you know, I've been using this woman just for the purposes of the read-through. What do you say we use her until we find, you know, a proper actress who knows?
No kidding.
She came in and just killed, like, to the point that not just me, but every hearing person in the audience for that first read-through just fell out when she does what she does in the climactic scene. And I walked out, and Kenny, I remember we were walking down 9th Avenue, and we were just like, well, I think we found her. Like, that's the one,
Wow, that's
And she's
amazing.
just continued to grow and grow and grow. And she's a wonderful woman and has been a very patient teacher to me, because I've had to learn this language with her to be able to communicate, because she's pure deaf.
Right.
And we have this, I mean, truly unique in my nearly 30 years of doing this relationship that we get to put up on stage every night. So, yeah, it's been a brilliant experience.
Well, Children of the Lesser Gods on Broadway at Studio 54 here in New York City. Joshua Jackson, great to see you, man.
I can't stop.